Hello Taurus, welcome back to my channel, The Vibes Inside. I am Mariana and I'm back here to do your reading. I have pre-shuffled your cards already, Taurus, and laid them out, opened them, and I've pondered a bit about what this story is about for you. And so I'm diving in and we'll see what comes through, right, for you. There is a conflict somehow. There is some kind of conflict here. So let me show you the first card that I have here. This is the first card. It's the Six of Earth. The Six of Earth is usually a card of equal give and take, balance in finances perhaps, or balance in the way we kind of give and receive, or you could say that you are involved in a world that when you give something out, it also gives something back, you know, like you can, and when I say that, you can be honest, right, that you can be who you are, and the way you are is equally like that you can be the honest you, Taurus, and the response you get is a balancing, right? Or it could be that you want to balance something with someone. You want to have balance in your life. You may not feel like it, right? You may not feel that that's what is happening. This is on your mind. It's the overall energy. So this is, like you could say, the main focus of this reading, that you want to balance something here. It can be your finances. You are the second house, Taurus, so it could be about finances. It could be about, you know, like money. Money can buy us stuff, right? We can pay our rent. So we have a roof over our head. We can buy food. We can have, you know, shelter. We can have luxury also. If we have enough money, we can have maybe the life we want. Like we can build the life we want. We can have the necessities or the tangibles, the stuff in our life that we would like. So there could be a focus on balancing something here. It could be that either you have come into money and now it's like you're really thinking about that. Wow, I can buy something now because I have this amount of money. I can have a richer life, you know. Or maybe it's the other way around, that you have a reduced amount of money and therefore you also have to reduce maybe your spending. It could be that it has nothing to do with money. I believe that the second house for me is also about safety, security. Where do I feel, which kind of environment perhaps, where do I feel safe? Where do I feel secure? Where do I feel like I am, again, I can be honest, and I'm accepted the way I am, that there's this reciprocity in how we interact with each other, right? That I'm interacting with society perhaps, or society is interacting with me, but it's this balanced, rather a nice environment, you could say. It's welcoming or accepting. It's accepting, and it's kind of flexible in some way, right? That would be the Six of Earth here. To clarify this Six of Earth, I have the Andean cross here. So there is a focus on something here with the Six of Earth. This focus here has to do with this Andean cross here. So what is this cross about? Well, it says that it represents the cosmology of the shaman. It depicts the four cardinal directions, the upper, the lower worlds, and the steps to reach these realms. The hole is in the center. The hole in the center is the gateway to interdimensional travel, the proverbial eye of the needle we can all go through to experience higher states of awareness and wisdom and to break free of linear time. This is what this talks about. There is an invitation at the moment. So it could be that you could say the balance that you're looking for here, and it is an earth sign, or an earth card that definitely speaks to the shaman orientation, how the shaman works with, you could say, earth experience, working with all directions, but having in mind the, you could say, like air, fire, water, and stone or earth, you could say. So working with these dimensions to somehow have access to some kind of knowledge. So working through these, you could say, using these understandings to have a richer life. So the balance you may seek here could be that you're looking for a richer life, and you're trying to do it with the understanding of the Indian cross here. So as an earth sign, Taurus, you may have been really working with, you would say, the stuff that is on earth, the materials that are on earth, what is available on earth. And I took out actually my Gaia oracle here because I really felt there's something about the mother, there's something about Pachamama, which is also how a shaman could talk about the mother, the earth, the roots of the mother somehow. A shaman works with, there's a strong connection with animals, right? Animal spirits also, but animal spirits that are here on earth, right? The serpent, the eagle, these recognizable, I want to say, for us humans, recognizable energies, right? When you think about the serpent, or when we think about the eagle, or when we think about the bear or the tiger or something, or the jaguar, we have like an image in our head of what that's like. So someone who finds balance by, you could say, maybe identifying through what we know here on earth. But I want you to remember the shape of this, like become aware of the, like the squareness of this shape here, right? I want you to really look at that. This is one way of like working with earthly matters, Pachamama energies, the mother energies here. What is available? It's like there is something about what is available here on earth for us to find the balance that we need. And maybe at this point in time, or it has been in your awareness for a long time, that this is how you should do it, right? That we use the things that we can see and touch and yield. Like you can yield the stone. You can shape it. You can do something with it. You can yield the fire, perhaps. You can create it, but you can also stop it or throw water at it, right? You can, like, this is by using and controlling or the earthly matters here on earth, right? That what is available here for us, what has Pachamama given us, what can we work with here on earth. So this is like an earth light worker, right? They are embedded in the earthly realm, that what is here, what can we use nature the animals, the power of the animals, the dynamic and the energy that is available here. Right? And the Indian cross here talks about this, like that this is the invitation of the shaman to go deeper into these. It's time to raise your gaze from the mundane day-to-day life to that which until now has seemed beyond your grasp. Allow new wisdom to guide you and stop trying to make sense of all before you respond with a resounding yes. And I feel like I will go only with the invitation here. There is a medicine note also, but it doesn't really go along with the card I have down here. So there is an invitation, or there has been an invitation to look into something here. And you may have felt a calling to, or this has been your way forward always, right? This has been your way forward, how you have done your life. This is in your awareness. This is what your consciousness is doing. It's trying to create the balance that we want. We all want some kind of balance, right? We want to get the right salary so we can buy the things we want. Or we want to, I don't know, look in a certain way, right? So we go and get our nails done, or get our hair done, or we buy a certain clothes, or, you know, we get stuff done somehow to look or present in a certain way, to get a specific job title. So we can promote ourselves perhaps, right? We are creating some of this by using what is available for us here. Now there is an invitation to maybe step even further into this. But what is interesting, the driver of this, the driver that is driving this process forward for you to somehow figure out how to balance something. Again, I have a strong Pachamama feeling here, something about the earth. It could be something like, yeah, I get it. It's a strong feeling of like responsibility. The mother is very responsible, right? Or that is at least what we would like a mother to be. The mother is responsible to nurture the child and to make the child feel as comfortable as possible. When it cries, the mother comes, right? The mother comes when there is an imbalance. An imbalance, right? And the 6 talks about the balance, that we want to find the balance. We all like that somehow. We would rather be comfortable, right, than discomfortable or uncomfortable. If we are uncomfortable, we are kind of we are out of our limb, or we are not in a position where we can show our best. We can show up best possible. When we are out of balance, we have dysregulated, or you could say unbalanced reactions, right? When we are in balance, there is a sense of harmony. That's what the 6 talks about here, a sense of harmony. But when we are out of balance, there's a disharmony or disconnect, right? We feel separated or disconnected from what it is that should harmonize everything. Basically, it's a little bit like the baby when it's dysregulated. It's hungry, it wants attention, it wants to sleep, it needs a new diaper, it cries. It cries for some kind of help, and the mother should come, right? The mother should come and do something. She should do something. That could be the tangible effect also here of Taurus, right? Of you, Taurus, that the mother should come. You're also ruled by Venus, the feminine, right? So the mother should come, and she should fix stuff for us so that we feel, this was nice. Now I'm balanced again, right? But it means that the one who is coming, like the one who naturally should come and fix stuff, should be available. Like they should be here somehow, this one who is supposed to come and do stuff, right? This mama or mother or father energy, if we need a father energy, if it's a father energy, I get more mother, I must say that. And usually the mother is the first caretaker. She's the one with the milk, right? She's the obvious choice. She has been carrying you in 9 months before you get born. This is the one you have adapted to. Her heartbeat, her smell, everything. Her milk, everything. She's the primal caretaker, the first one, usually, right? And we expect her to be, it's like, for harmony and balance to exist, she must be there. Right? She must be there. So when we cry, we expect her to come. Pachamama must provide, right? Mother must provide for us. And that's what I feel like this is. Like the shaman idea is this connection with the roots, with what is here, what is available for us here, what is available here on earth. We humans have created lots of stuff out of the material that is here, right? Wood and stone and metal and whatever. We figured out how to melt it, bend it, and do all kinds of stuff with it, because we know the quality of it. This feels a little bit like knowing the qualities of the earthly realm, the matters, what she is able to provide, what she is able to provide at this current state in time. What has our mother, what is she able to provide at this particular time? And we can even go beyond for our balance here. For our balance, we have been seeking, maybe in the tangible realm, how to get the balance. So again, as I said, it could be through working with some of the very mundane day-to-day jobs you can have, right? You build something, you create something. You are maybe good with your hands, like making creative stuff or something, right? But you use something. Maybe you use paint, wood, metal. You can create with some kind of product, some kind of thing that you can take a stone and you can, sharpen it, or you can kind of give it a shape. You can shape it somehow. So we take tangible things, stuff, and then we do something with it, and we create some kind of product. And that has been a way how you may have been I don't know if I'm speaking to someone who has been when I talk about the shaman here, it's someone who is very much in touch with like building and working with these. You don't have to be like an Indian shaman in the sense of like that. I see it like an earth worker, right? They work with the tangibles, everything that you can take a piece of. You can take a piece of paper or something, and then because you draw on it, now it suddenly becomes something else than just a piece of paper. Do you get my point? You can take a random stone, and then you can sharpen it or something, and suddenly you have you've made a little figure out of it, right? You've made a little, or this one, right? That this has probably once been just like it has been glass. Now it has been shaped into an angel. So it's like we use the materials available here in front of us to create what it is, to create a world for ourselves, to create the balance that we want, the the work here. So I'm talking to someone who has been, I want to say, working with these elements here. There is an even deeper layer, and there is an invitation to go that route, right? But maybe you have, you know, like you have been more into the, like you have been more into the things that was just in front of you available. It's like there is an invitation to go deeper into something you may not have done. I want to reference to, I mentioned this a little bit in the last Capricorn reading, because Capricorn is born at a time where also an earth sign. Capricorn is born at a time where there is very little daylight. During the day, there's not much daylight. It's actually most dark. So Capricorn has to find its way through the forest, being able to navigate in the dark, right? And still finding food, still finding shelter, still finding what it needs. It requires a certain skill. For you, Taurus, you are born in the springtime where there is new fresh sunlight. You can see stuff in front of you. It's actually available. Usually things start blossoming. Usually things are available. Usually there is fresh grass on the field. You can just go and get it, right? And you can see it. The sunlight is there. It's right in front of you. That's what I feel like this is. You have seen this, but you have not seen this. The balance you have required has been through all what I call mundane work, 9-to-5 job, some kind of, again, maybe you were a carpenter, maybe you were some kind of woodworker, maybe you have been carving something, you know, like you are very good at shaping something with your hands, right? You can mold it somehow and you have the strength to do it. You know, do you get what I mean? Like you have been working with whatever has been in front of you. And now there is an invitation to work with something here that is maybe not tangible, that is different here. And now look at the next card that I have here. Because now I take forth the driver of your reading. Why this invitation is here. Why you suddenly sit here with maybe this feeling of, it's like, what I'm doing, yeah, it works. And I can find some kind of balance here. But it's like, I need something else. It's not quite fulfilling, right? That's why this card is here. It's like you have been looking at, you know, like this shape here, and you have been working with the elements somehow, but you have never gone here, right? And it's like, what does that mean exactly? Something is driving this urge forward to visit a place or an intrigue to go somewhere where you haven't been before. It's a start of a great journey. It's time to rise your gaze from the mundane. And to grasp something that has seemed beyond your grasp, or to understand something that has seemed beyond your grasp until now. Allow new wisdom to guide you and stop trying to make sense of it all before you respond with a resounding yes. So what is it that can be found in here? The driver that I have here for this card is the High Priestess. This one came out as a driver also for the Aries reading, but it's like something wants to come through a veil here. Like we can see her face here is rather clear, but not really her hair and ears and everything. It's like something wants to come through here and speak to you, right? And this is what I feel like you can find in the center here. If you allow yourself, you can hear this one. I feel like today she comes across very much as like Pachamama, mother, feminine, motherly energy here. But she's clarified with the Emperor. So the Emperor is usually a yang card, like a male or a father energy here, right? It could be that, and she is a high priestess here, right? That is usually associated with a feminine energy. She comes across with some kind of message here. A message that has to do with the balance you are longing for or you want here. So she is, and this is the one I feel like you can find when you look closer here. You examine, you are invited into a journey of exploring. This one is usually like a driver. It may have been totally unknown to you from your subconscious mind, and now it's kind of coming forward here. Slowly but surely you see her, or you recognize it, that something is stirring, it's inviting, or it's like she's inviting you here. A voice inside your head here, slowly but surely whispering to you, inviting you to have a look at something. To have a look at something here. To have a closer look at something. So what is it you need to have a closer look at? Well, she's clarified with the Emperor. Well, usually I see the Emperor as like he's the CEO, the big boss, the one at the top of the pyramid. This is the Pharaoh. This is the King of Kings, right? He's in charge. She could have a message that has to do with taking charge of something. That you have to take charge. You are the one in charge, so you have to take charge. Your own balance here. Your balance, the balance you're looking for here. And you have normally used the tangible, earthly, mundane ways of living your life is maybe not cutting it anymore. Maybe it's not sufficient anymore for you. So to get what it is that you want, you need to take charge and become like, reclaim your own power, take charge of what it is that you want. You have to, like, you could say, rise to the occasion. Like you have to become ready. You have to do that. It could be like a voice that comes into your mind here, and it's speaking this. It speaks that rise to the occasion, my dear, right? Rise to the occasion. It could be that this is a very feminine energy that actually needs to become yang for a moment. You know, like when a mother is really getting annoyed with her children, right? And she starts like discipline, she's starting to discipline, or she's saying enough is enough, children, right? Now the balance has gotten out of control. Things have gotten out of control, and because I'm the mother, I step in to create a balance here, right? I step in. Now we kind of have to, we all must coexist here. So in order for us to do that, we kind of have to, I have to say something now. In order for something not to become too chaotic, I have to step in and take action now. As she does if a child is almost trying to walk out over the stairs, because she knows the child doesn't know about the stairs, right? Not yet. And in order for me to keep balance, I have to grab my child, right? Because if it's falling down, it will become very dysregulated and very unhappy, and it could hurt itself tremendously. So I take action to keep balance, right? To keep a sense of it. The child can explore. Of course, the child can explore. But sometimes mother must act, right? Sometimes mother must act in the name of harmony. In the name of harmony, mother must act, right? So sometimes mother must act. In the name of harmony, mother must act. She comes forward here and she says, again, because mother can regulate at all times, she can always come in and do something. But this almost talks a little bit about, and we know this as well, right? That when we become older, we are no longer a baby. Now we can walk around the house. The more you can do on your own, the more you are in charge, right? The more you are in charge of your life here. The more you are in charge of finding the balance you need here in your life, right? And so if you have been working 9 to 5 hours here, you have been working with what you could see in front of you. And what you can see in front of you, you're also the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a believer in institutions, is a believer in, the plan, the overall plan, the overall organization of society. The Hierophant usually sticks to or would embrace and even preach it to others, would say it to others. Why don't you go on that education? Why don't you go to that school? It's already here. The school is here in society. You can use it. It's here. It's already here, right? It's existing. It has been built. We have, as humans, we have created this within society. These institutions that we have, we can use them, right? I can take an education and then I can work with this and that. And then I'm inside the matrix of, or inside the institution of society, and I'm working with what's there. I'm working what I can see in front of me. The sun is there. You can see it is right there. The college, a workplace, even hobbies at the weekend, it's available. You can see it. You can just participate in it. As long as it's inside society. This is almost like an invitation to kind of go beyond something that is maybe a bit out of the norm here. She is asking you to take leadership of your own balance. Like if you want balance in your life, she's asking you to, and it's almost like mother is speaking on behalf of harmony, right? On behalf of your own feeling of harmony inside you. If you have felt dysregulated and it's like the world is bad or something is off, I don't like it, I feel off balance. The balance you're looking for here could come because mother is now teaching you, like the dog mother is teaching her puppies, right? She tells them to stay in line or to do this or do that, right? Otherwise, she comes and grasps them right by the neck here, right? She comes and grasps them if they are doing something that she doesn't like, right? A dog mother can be quite patient, right? But she will eventually, from time to time, bark a little bit, just to give a little sense like now we are out of balance here. Come back, right? Follow me or come back. Like there is this sense that she is the one that the puppies come to for calm, for food, for warmth, for regulation, for so they can go play in the garden, but eventually they will come back to her, right? Because she's that sense of safety and security and balance. It's almost like the mother is kind of coming through here and saying, like, the things that you want here, you are now, like, you can take charge, like, become that leader of your own, become that mother, or become me. You can follow my example, right? What balances things for you? What balances things for you, Taurus? The things that balance you, go towards that. Or if let's say you find that the only thing that balances me is new clothes and jewelry and everything, that's the only way I feel comfortable. Okay, then you have to become the one who can get it. Take charge then. Do something about it. Right? That's like the take charge. Do something about it. If that is what you feel like, then do something about it. Which is normally what we want the mother, right? We want the mother to come and give it to us, like the baby, right? So there could be something about if you feel that you are in a situation where it's like it should come to me somehow, that you expect it to come to you. It could be that there is something about this idea that you should be provided for somehow. And if you feel like you're not provided for, or that, because this is the overall energy, this is in your face, right? It's in your face as something you feel maybe not, that there is not balance. I don't feel safe, perhaps. I don't feel embraced by something. I don't feel contained by something. That I feel quite unsafe, actually. It's like, okay, if you feel you need to be embraced, if you feel something should come to you, if you feel like at least you have to take action, you have to say something then. You have to either go out and get it yourself, or you have to say something. You have to speak. You have to say something. And I have this front picture of my readings right now where there's this chili that's kind of spitting fire here. It's like there is something that needs to be said or communicated. Probably throughout all the readings that I'm kind of doing right now, that something comes here. But even the chili that I've chosen, the chili in itself is hot. So it could feel like a hot potato that I have to, and even the chili finds this hot. Even the chili is spitting fire, right? So it's like I'm kind of touching this hot potato somehow, or hot chili here. And it's like this taboo thing, or something that I don't want to do. So these readings, I feel like I'm touching upon something that I'd rather not deal with this, right? I'd rather not do this, or I'd rather not deal with this. This could be asking for help. This could be, or this could be something about putting out your boundaries, or saying what you need. That you actually need to speak what you need. You have to speak what you need. Like the baby, well, the baby will persist on its needs for quite a long time. It will persist on, it cries and cries and cries and cries. It keeps asking, right? It keeps asking, sending out the same like vibe, expecting something to come. Eventually mother comes, normally she comes, right? And baby stops crying, or when things gets done, the baby, then the harmony is created again, right? In this case, it feels a little bit like Either you didn't have that mother, like you didn't have a mother and you were crying and 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 nobody came. When that happens, a baby can withdraw. Like eventually it has used so much energy on the crying and calling that it withdraws. When that happens, it's like a close down. It closes down on its needs, on what it needs. And I think that there's something that could be found here. She comes across here as, I was very drawn to her forehead here. And in her forehead, we see it's like a cycle. And then it's like there are these, like, I don't know exactly what they represent, right? But it's like there is something in the center here, like her third eye, but it's round. It's round. And she has some, I don't know, some kind of antennas or something here. I feel like sometimes I have seen a bit like these images in like Egyptian drawings or something. But she has a round, like a round, you know, a round third eye. And that's why I wanted you to remember this, because it's kind of squared, right? It's squared. So the mother would normally come, provide the safety, the balance, the harmony that the child needs. What you have been doing is you have tried to create harmony in your life with what was available. And again, this is what you have learned. It's a learned skill, right? You use what is available, or you interact with the things that are available. And because it's kind of like sharp edges here, I feel like it's because it's like there's a softness that is missing to something. There's a softness, the nurture of the mother that should come and make sure that you have the things that you need, that it feels like it's very difficult here on earth. Like the softness of the mother, her gentle way of doing something, the softness of the mother, that because the mother has this amazing ability to interpret what's going on and make sure she provides a gentle care to somehow create the balance again. Somehow I feel like maybe, I don't know, that the care you received was maybe not gentle. The care you have received was maybe not so very balancing, like maybe it literally didn't quite balance everything out for you. Maybe there was scarcity, maybe there was no food. So what you learned about life and how to interact in life came with a kind of sharpness, right? It wasn't round and gentle, and the round is also what we associate with the feminine, right? It's a round, edgeless, edgeless energy, where the masculine is usually depicted more with sharper lines, you could say, right? So the interaction here in life to create balance here has been for you through what you know. And it has been with a sense of like edginess to it, maybe with like a yang approach, a bit more, you know, like squared kind of approach to something. And in that way, it's also yang based, meaning that You have participated in the 9 to 5 job, maybe with a bit of a yang-like approach to stuff. We just have to get this done, quick and easy, and then it's fixed. You know, like you can, when you take care of a child, you can do it in a yang way or you can do it in a yin way. The yin way would be soft and gentle and considerate. The yang way would be productive, quick, just let's get things going, right? So, and I'm not saying that fathers are bad at, I'm not saying that because I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the yang way would be efficient, just get it going. It doesn't have to be, we don't have to take care of all these emotions, right? It just have to be quick, sharp, let's get going, right? And that could be what kind of job you have been in. Like maybe you have been involved in rather yang-oriented work, that the way you have created balance in your life has been through, like with yang understanding. And possibly that's why the Emperor is also here, right? It's like there is a mother speaking to you, and you're ruled by Venus, Taurus, right? There is a mother, a voice in you, something original in you that is speaking to you. It speaks to you about this yang energy here, right? About, yes, you can take charge about your life, or almost like, is this how you want to continue? Like, do you want to continue in this way, right? Do you want to continue? Is that really how you get balance? Is it true balance, right, for you? It's like she's speaking. She's saying, is this right for you? You are Venus. You represent Venus. Is this right? It's almost like she's saying, how do you take charge again? You are Venus. Take charge of being Venus, right? Take charge in a perhaps a feminine way, a way of and she comes in with a round here. It's almost like a bit like a higher self. Like a higher self that is kind of wanting to call you back to softness, Taurus, right? It wants to call you back to a softness, a softer approach to something, right? A softer approach. So she's asking you to have a look at your yang, like the way you take action, the way you take action in life here. She's asking you to have a look at the way you take action, right? How you get things done, or if you even get things done. Or she could even say, reclaim that power of yours. Reclaim, you could say, the goddess in you. Reclaim the goddess in you. Because things have gotten out of balance here. It has gotten out of balance. It's a bit like mother calling, right? It's like she's saying, now we are off tune here now. We are off tune. And because we are doing that, I'm barking, right? I call my puppies back, right? Because now they are too far away for me to regulate everything. I can no longer make sure that I am containing them, right? I can no longer make sure that I can keep up the balance here for them. So now I call them back, right? It's like when mother calls us, it's because now we are at the edge of something. We are actually at the edge, and she can no longer protect us. She can no longer protect us. So you could be maybe you are in a situation where you're overworking yourself. You are in a very sharp environment, perhaps. Maybe you are in a very male or yang dominated world. You are up against the matrix, or up against these sharp machine rules that I believe the matrix has, right? There is no room for being sick. There is no room for, like staying home and taking care of your sick children. It's almost like an offense against the system. And we feel, usually as an employer, we are frustrated when that happens. We are frustrated that we get sick. We are frustrated when our children are sick. We feel a bad conscience. We are frustrated that we can't be at two places at once. We feel an obligation to be in the environment, right? We feel an obligation to be in the environment and participate. And it's like there's a mother energy here that kind of comes through and says, but this is not right for you, right? This is not right for you. You're participating in something here. Have a look at your boss, or have a look at yang energies around you. Have a look at your own yang energy. What are you participating in? Right? What are you letting yourself be ruled by? Right? Again, the Hierophant usually, which is Taurus energy, is usually quite fond of the system. Like it likes the institution, it likes the institution of marriage, because then things are kind of settled and orderly, and there should be a sense of containment and safety somehow, right? But if it doesn't work, if the safety is not there, if you do not feel peace and harmony here, if you don't feel it, it's not contained, it's not safe, it's not regulated, right? And it's like there's this voice here that comes inside you here, right? That kind of, and it has come from deep down here, just moving forward, coming into your awareness here, whispering in your ear, what are you doing? What are you doing? What is it that you are participating in here? Are you sure that this is where you want to sit? Are you sure you want to be, that this is right for you, right? Are you sure you want to, that this is the right boss to follow, or the right, advice? Or is it really giving you this sense of balance that you're looking for? It's like she's calling you to look at your actions. Where do you participate? Like the Emperor here would be like a top element of you, perhaps here, right? It would be the top element of you. Now it's almost like, you see, I put the Emperor here in front of the High Priestess. It's almost like, instead of being a High Priestess, she's asking you to be the Emperor, or, as I said, Mother only really takes action, and Mother only really becomes angry when you are at the edge. Then she has to say something, right? Mother only really does that when she gets maybe worried, when she gets frightened, when she gets angry about something. Now it's like we have gotten too far away, or we have reached a boundary somehow. Now Mother calls, right? Now Mother calls us. Now it's not safe anymore, right? Then she's calling us. And it's like the Mother usually only steps into this energy here when something is really off. When something is really off and we are getting really, really close to a problem, or you are already in it, now she starts shouting, and she becomes louder and louder and louder and louder and louder here. Eventually she is in your face here, and she is shouting, 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 calling you back home, right? She's calling you back home, Taurus. And what is she calling you back home to? It says here, our ancient future. this is in itself like an interesting thing, something ancient that is futuristic. Ancient we normally see in a linear fashion, like something that is behind. It's historical, right? It's behind us. It's something that was once, but is now supposed to be our future, right? So something that was once is supposed to come forward and now become part of the life we live. This is what she's asking for, right? She's calling this, the thing behind you that once was you, Taurus. The round shape, the gentleness of the mother. She's calling you back home, you could say, to step into a gentler version of yourself, I think. That is perhaps what you're supposed to figure out here, because everything else around you is sharp. So, and again, I even have the round form here, that I only recognize that now, that the roundness here it's associated with the feminine, right? That the cycle is the feminine, right? And maybe you have been associated, it could even be you grew up, you know, like with all kind of sharpness, and there were nobody in here. It was just, it was void. There was no mother. Maybe you had no mother, Taurus, right? But, or the feeling of no mother, that she was just as sharp as this. That it's calling you in here. It's almost like to awaken these ancient Taurus, Venus energies, right? That is that gentle, rounder, gentler. But you know, like if you have been in a very competitive environment all your life, you even grew up without this, like the gentle mother, the gentle, caring, considerate, understanding mother. Then we're in trouble, right? We haven't even received it yet. And interestingly enough, my candle is out. I have to light a new one. So the warmth of the mother. Here again, no warmth of the mother, right? But you are Venus, Taurus, and it means that you have some of these energies in you. It's like you're being invited to a journey to go back and listen to this one, right? Listen to the gentle mother. The one that was once, the one that was here in ancient times. She was there, but she can be the future, right? That we have to call her back. And again, it goes in line with this rise of the feminine, that the feminine has to come forward again. It's like we have too little of the mother. There's too little mother energy. We expect it of the women, that they have it. We hope that they have it. As a mother myself, I've tried to provide the mother to my son. But whether I succeeded in that, I still don't know that, right? I tried. But you know, like it's like, and it awakens typically in the females. It awakens when they become mothers. Like it's like, this is where we really know the responsibility of the mother. It's not just to raise one child. It's to raise many, because that child becomes an adult as a mother or father, and they have to take care of children perhaps themselves. So it's like there's an inheritance here of responsibility, mother responsibility, that I feel like we have to awaken in all of us. It's not just in the women, it's in all of us. That yes, we can take sharp action at some times, but we can also take round action at other times, right? And you are Venus, you're ruled by Venus, Taurus, and you can have an ascendant that is very masculine, right? Because you learned this is how life is. I have to toughen up. I can't be round. But you could be round. And when you are round, you embrace more feminine energy. And this is where the Hierophant comes in. This is where you can get guidance. You open up your channels to the realm that is above us. Something you have not experienced with this, right? Okay, so our ancient future here. It talks about wisdom from ingenious people, ancestors holding the key for the future, ancient remembering, bloodlines, how the past affects the future, a time to step up, timeless power symbols, and activations of powerful shifts. That's what I feel like. This is a Lemurian card, or from my Lemurian deck. And the Lemurian deck is very much, it was a society that was created very much around the feminine energy. The feminine energy was the most, you could say, cherished energy. That the way people were interacting with each other was very balanced oriented. It was very balanced oriented. It was kind and considerate and caring. It had like the utmost, you could say, like as a Lemurian, I believe one of the most successful achievement as a Lemurian was living in balance. What was like the ability to live in balance and harmony. And you do that when you have an awareness, right? You do it when you have an awareness of what is kind, what is considerate, what is loving energies, what is round, you know, what is regards for others. And it says it right here, right? Ancient remembering. And that's what I feel like she is doing here, your inner high priestess here, or higher self here. She's coming forward. It's like she's telling you, this is not you, Taurus. It's not you. This is not you, Taurus. Like you are. Remember, right? Remember who you are here. Remember who you are, right? Remember who you are. And she is only coming forward when she gets pushed enough down. Again, as I said, Mother only reacts when there are problems. When now the balance is so out of tune that it's so dysregulated that it's almost unfixable. Now Mother is shouting, right? Mother would shout to the baby if she recognizes it's too close to the staircase. Or she will, like, everything she has in her hand, she just drops it and runs for the baby, right? That's Mother. That's the round Mother. She would go, but usually it shouldn't get that far, right? Usually Mother should be able not to have a child that walks over the staircase and forwards, right? That's what we also hope and expect from the Mother, that we won't have these falls, that she has our back, right? That she has us in some way. She or the Father, right? But at least the caretaker, that we are safe where we go, right? That the harmony is there, that the balance and the harmony is there, that nothing happens to us. Our safety is not on the line here. And she will only come forward and scream here, or she will only come forward and step into masculine energy and proverbially say something, unless something is terribly wrong, right? Unless something is terribly wrong, she won't do it. She won't correct us necessarily. She will do it if something is terribly wrong in her eyes here. in her eyes. So this is like an inner voice, something that calls something forward. But again, we have to remember this voice here. Do you hear your own mother calling, correcting you or saying something? Or is it your higher self? Because sometimes we can get confused by these things, right? Our mother has lived a life where she received a programming from another mother. And they received a programming from another mother and father. You know, that's why it's like this inheritance. What we are supposed to awaken here is what I would call the real mother, the true mother. And maybe we haven't received nurture from that mother. Maybe we didn't get that. And maybe she didn't get it from her mother. And maybe she didn't get it from her mother again. You know, that's why I say it's not just that we raise a child. No, this child can become a mother or father. And those children again can become mother and fathers. And those children again can become mother and fathers. You see, so there's this like a domino effect of something. How the mother is extremely important, not only to that child, but like a line. Again, and I have bloodlines here. Ancient remembering, bloodlines. How the past affects the future. A time to step up. You know, like our ancestors is holding the key. And that's why we have the ancient here. The ancient and future, right? It's like we have to unearth, dig up something that is way back. We can rely on like our own programming. We can rely on what's inside the matrix or inside the institutions we know, schools and everything. We have to dig up something that is further back, that is more like true or core. That is the one. And when she comes forward here, it's because something is very wrong in your life. Something is too sharp, right? That the edginess, and it's even when I look at this card, it says 6 of Earth, but actually, and it talks about balance. But look at this one. Does he look healthy? Like, look at how the eyes, it's almost like you can see the skeleton, like the cranium underneath the skin. Does he look well nurtured, well cared for, well fed? Does he? I don't think so. It's like, and when that card here comes out as well, it's like the sharpness, like being in a sharp yang environment is probably not right for you, Taurus, right? It sucks. It sucks all your. It sucks all the yin out of you. What you may have left. What you may have left. It sucks. It's like it sucks the yin out of you. In an overly masculine environment where there's no mother. You know, like let's say it's a very masculine dominated work you have been doing, right? Something that is, you know, like a bit sharp like that. It just have to work. We just have to get moving. You know, there's no room for emotions. There's no room for, as I said, sick children. There's no room for your own sickness. There's no room for, you have to constantly perform like a machine, right? There's no room for all this stuff, right? All this emotional stuff, this yin thing. There's no room for that. If you have kind of been in an environment like that, maybe you were raised in an environment like that, you can find something from going in here, even though you feel like it's a void. Like even you feel like, I don't have that. I don't even know what the good mother or the motherly feelings are because I never received them myself. Right? Yes, you do know them. You do know them. But you have to go on like a journey. You have to like really choose to go in and find them. It is in your bloodline. Like it's in there somehow. And therefore you can be the changer. The one that is not, like just passing on the same programming as you did with your parents. You can be the one that stops and says, there's something wrong here. I have to figure this out. Otherwise, I'm going to repeat the same cycle again and again and again. You can be the doorstopper for that. You can be the one that says, I don't want to raise my children to live a life like this, like where everything gets sucked out of them and they barely can stand on their feet, right? There's something about taking mother calls here when it's time, right? Mother calls when it's time for you to like take charge of your own life here. Take charge of your life, right? She calls when something is off, when you are about to tip over the staircase. She's asking you to step into that power yourself, right? That you hear her call, right? That something is really out of balance now. And you're looking for the balance. You are on the outlook of your balance. But what you are doing or what you are giving yourself, what the environment you're in is too sharp here. You need to get out of that environment, I feel like. Even if it's an invitation to step out of the mundane life, your 9-to-5 job, if it's too squared, if it's too harsh for you. And maybe your bodies would tell you, no, it's normal. It doesn't matter. For you, it's not. For you, it's not. Everything I usually talk about on my channel is what's right for you. I'm not telling you what's right for you. You can feel it, right? You can feel it. And it's that feeling, listen to it, right? When Mother calls you, when Venus calls you back, it's because you are at the edge of the staircase, right? You have gone too far. It has gone too far. You have pushed yourself too much. You have stayed in an environment that was very unhealthy for you, right? And it's like now the ancient, your ancestors, they're calling you back now. They're calling you to see this. They're calling you to see that you stand in an environment that is not healthy for you. I don't know exactly what this is for you, whether it's family or work or it could be financial, of course. But again, I feel like the money you're earning that may pay the roof over you, or the bills, so that you can sustain yourself and be in your house, it's draining you. That it could be time that you need to find another job where that's more round. Maybe you are embarking on an alternative work outside the matrix or outside of the institutions. Maybe you need a little more room, like to breathe, right? It has to be a space where you can breathe a little bit more. And it's not just this machine-like or competitive environment, right? That is sharp and edgy, and if you can't deliver, then you're kind of just out of the picture. You need an environment that is more round, where You can breathe. You can actually stretch. You can have a sick day without feeling, oh, now I can lose my job or something. You know, like. And if you can't find it, maybe you need to create it yourself, right? Maybe you need to create it yourself. Be your own emperor here. Right? Maybe you need to create it yourself. So, you know, like your rules can apply, right? Your rules can apply. Or you have to maybe look for an emperor, like a boss, a company where that is a little more round. Maybe you don't get the same salary. Maybe it's not very, like this, it's not competitive in that way. So maybe if it could feel a little bit boring or something, you're not used to that environment. But eventually I feel like it's going to give you the sense of more balance here, right? It could restore this sense of, I can actually breathe here, and being human is okay, right? That you're not a machine, you are a human being. So you can be a human. That's what I feel like. It's like it's calling you back to being human and not supernatural, right? You're not supposed to be supernatural. You are a human being. And in order to thrive in this life we have, it's like there's something in you calling you to do differently in order to get the balance. Like Venus Mother is calling you back from the staircase, right? Because it's too dangerous there. She cannot protect you there. So this is also, I want to say, like an information, and be aware of the environment you're in, the things you touch and the things you are in you experience here. Choose the right environment, right? Choose the right place for you, Taurus. Or embrace the feminine part of you. And when you embrace that feminine part of you, you will get in touch with emotions you didn't even know you had. Or maybe abilities you didn't know you had, like psychic abilities or stuff, right? Now you open the door to something ancient. So this is where you, from, you know, like just maybe barely having balance, you step into the Hierophant energy. That is what the invitation is here for you, to embrace some of this. You know, like that's what I feel like I have with these cards. It's quite esoteric. It is really something about really feeling into, and maybe you will touch upon some very deep-seated emotions, because if you did grow up without a mother or motherly care, like real round motherly care, and I believe most of us did. Most of us here on Earth actually did grow up with a somewhat squared mother. There were times where she wasn't there. Let's say you were in kindergarten and you fell and hit yourself, and mother wasn't there. Maybe there was some kind of caretaker, like a kindergarten teacher or something, and they came and helped you, but it was not quite the same perhaps. Or they didn't know you as well as your mother should or could. So they were not the exact match, you know, to give the harmony back. Or maybe they didn't have the time. Then someone else fell and they had to attend to them as well, you know. That could be within your own family if you have many siblings, right? Then mother couldn't be around you all the time and creating this like very rounded and very perfect care. None of us have that. I don't think so. Very few, I think, have been able to provide that for their children, right? And it's just, we have to know that this is embedded in all of us. It's in your mother as well. It's in her mother, and all the way back, that at some point something happened that kind of shook this up somehow. And I'm quite sure I'm going to get to it when I get to the Virgo energy, like that. Then I will find it. So here with the hot chili and the fire out of the mouth, I really feel like my message, what I'm talking about here, could be the hot potato. A hot potato of choosing maybe a different path in life, maybe changing your words, taking ownership of your own life here, right? So instead of just, accepting these circumstances here, even though they are draining you, right? Even though they are draining you, maybe you need to speak up. So instead of, as I said, the mother will only speak when something really becomes awful, right? This is where she steps up and speaks or shouts here, right? Then she takes this very strong leadership of needing to, this is the boundary, my dear, right? And if you go outside of this, I can't protect you, right? I can't protect you. And now it's like you're hearing either your own voice here, or someone is literally, like I'm doing now, I'm saying this to you. I'm saying this to you, right? That hear me when I tell you, hear me. So now I'm acting like the mother, right? Hear me when I tell you that it has gone too far. Look yourself in the mirror if you feel exhausted, tired, overworked, overcompensating, something like that. Hear me when I tell you, as the mother, it's gone too far. You are not safe anymore. So I'm acting as the mother now, telling you this, but this is actually something that you should find within yourself, that you're supposed to find this in yourself. Find her, right? Find this voice inside yourself so that you can get the life you really want, right? A really balanced life here, a truly balanced life, right? That's what I feel like. And therefore we have to go back. In order to create the future we want, we have to go back and find her, the real mother. And just remember that, yeah, you can be angry with your mother. You can be even angry with your grandmother. But they have also just been children once and had a mother. And they were children once and had a mother. And if something vital happened to the mother energy once, that kind of disturbed something, it had this ripple effect on all of us. And I just feel like it's like you, at least you may feel it, Taurus, like it's supposed, we want it back, right? We want it back. We want it back in our feminines, in the women. We want it back in our mothers. That's what we want. And when we don't have it, usually we can become hurt, deeply hurt by it, and it's and then it's carried on. So this is what I feel like, and I'm kind of acting like this mother, right? And I'm the mother now, right? Who says this? I'm the mother who says this. It's too much for you. It's not the right place for you. It's not the right energy. The more you struggle with this, the more you try to be masculine also, the more you try to fit into this sharp environment, it's actually hurting you. It's painful. And it makes you unhappy, I think, also. Okay, this is what I have, Taurus. I hope this was interesting, or you can maybe relate somehow to it. I really want you to sit with it, actually. Sit with it and think about what is real, true harmony for you here. What would that look like? Yeah, that's what I feel like. Okay. So now I just took one card from the Gaia Oracle here. I just wanted to, I don't know, close off the reading. So I get the jewel within a teardrop here. And it tells me that there can be a jewel found in sadness. There can be a jewel found, or a, you know, like something important, something amazing actually can be found within sadness, or within loss, maybe even, or void. As I said, if you didn't have a mother like that, there can be many tears because we have felt the absence. But the absence is actually just a key to realizing what it was that was not there. And when we get in touch with what it was that was not there, we can almost write it down, what was not there. And this is exactly what we have to reignite within ourselves, what we have to find within ourselves. That's a jewel. It says here appreciation, spiritual and emotional reconnection, right? That something difficult may not have been there, or something vital may not have been there, as I said, but it's it doesn't mean that it's lost forever. And as I said, maybe you are really needing to realize or reconnect with feelings that you thought you didn't have. You will soon experience a strong spiritual and emotional bond with another person. It can be within yourself. It can be within a tune within yourself. It can be a person, of course, in your life. It says here, a family member, an animal, or a pet. During this time, you will also reconnect with your inner most feelings and true nature. That's what I talk about, right? Which has been suppressed or ignored for late. I can't make this up. That's what the card talks about here. This is a deeply emotional time where tears of sadness transform to tears of joy. Your appreciation of life, love, and friendship will strengthen as you give thanks for the many blessings in your life. Love is truly all around you. Embrace it, cherish it, and honor it. That I really feel like that is the mother energy. It is here, but it's just we have to find it, right? And it could be the feeling that you're stepping into a void where you have never encountered anything good there. But it is here, right? You and those you love unite through a common bond, and the love you feel for one another grows stronger and more profound. This is a special and magical time. Be sure to savor each and every moment. Love is all that really matters. I said that we all want the mother back, right? Love is the only thing that matters. We all want it back. When we feel disconnected from it in growing up, when we feel disconnected from it between our friends and us, when we feel disconnected in our first romantic relationships, when we feel disconnected and we have to divorce in a marriage, it's terrible. Right? We want it back. It's the only thing that matters. But we are also in charge. We need to take care of our own problems, our sadness, or our disconnect. Our disconnect is our disconnect. It has nothing to do with the other people, right? Our disconnect is our disconnect. We have to figure out what's there, the void, or what was lost, and we can get it back. You can find it within yourself, even though you didn't receive it. But you need to go deep within, you need to go deeper in, right? And trust that your ancestors know. It's in your bloodline. You have Venus in your bloodline. She is there, right? This is what I have. I hope this helped Taurus somehow, or somehow maybe it resonated. If it did, just give me a thumbs up. If you, well, the story is maybe not the best, but if I'm tuning in correctly, right? Just give me a thumbs up for that, then, right? That I'm tuning in correctly on something here, right? I send you my very best here. Love and light to you, Taurus. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.